Welcome to the REI Hacker Podcast, where we unlock the secrets of real estate success. Join us as we dive into the journeys of top investors, mentors, and industry experts. Learn from their experiences and navigate the highs and lows of the investing world. And now, let's hand it off to our host, Benson Juarez.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here on this edition of the REI Hacker Podcast. Really excited for my next guest. This is a man that I've been building a stronger relationship with over the last year. We were introduced at a real estate mastermind, and we've had a chance to hang out in person a handful of times. His name is JJ Azizian. JJ is born and raised in the greater Los Angeles area. He's got over 30 years of experience in the commercial real estate industry. He's skilled in property management, construction coordination, remodeling, and renovating distressed properties. He also runs one of the largest real estate investing networking communities in the world. So I'm really, really excited to have my friend JJ here. JJ, thank you so much for taking the time, man.
Hey, Benson, my pleasure. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, it's really cool to be able to have you on because, we had a chance to hang out, and I know some of your background, and more I know of like the, I don't know what you say, like the reputation of JJ, but let's learn more about the man, JJ, and what he's up to, what kind of business he's doing, and I want to figure out what makes you tick, man.
Oh, that's a pretty simple thing, I think. People make me tick. We're in real estate. One way or another. Even if we're renting a property, if we're renting an apartment, wherever we're at, we need a place to live. We're in real estate, and of course, we all want to improve our life. And 85% of the millionaires in this country became millionaires via real estate. So it doesn't take too long to figure out that's the path to go. And real estate's a people business. Any business is a people business. You hear people say it all the time, business is all about who you know. That's like a common thing, right? I say they're wrong. It's not about who you know, it's about who knows you.
Mm.
And the reason being is the success of anyone's business is predicated by the 5 or 6 people they engage with the most. And what does that mean? Not just doing business relationships, but becoming personal friends. Anyone that's successful in business has 85 people tugging at their shirt. Can you help me? Can you help me? You're successful. Can you help me? It's like, dude, I'm busy. I don't know you. I'm sorry. I don't know you. I don't have time. But what you want to do is become friends with successful people, because I say it all the time. I'll help anybody, but if you're my friend, I'm going to help you more.
Oh yeah, you've got a vested interest at that point.
Yeah.
Right?
So if there's
When you have
successful people out there, I want to become friends with them.
Yeah. But where does it begin and end though, right? Because when you first start off in business, you're not successful, right? So you're friends with people who are potentially more successful than you are, and you're the one that's reaching up, looking for help, right? And then at some point you become the successful one, and then your friend groups kind of change and evolve, and your position and authority within that group changes. But I think that's all part of it, right? So are these
Most
4 or 5
definitely.
people you're talking about, right? Those people change over time.
Yeah. There's a common phrase that, to scale up your life, you need to scale up your activities, scale up your business. And the people you hang around. If you're the smartest, richest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Mm.
You want to be with people that can help you and bring value, and the best way to do that is by building relationships with them. And our life is always changing, our direction is always changing, our path is always changing. But as long as we're continuing looking to strive forward and upward, that's going to benefit us.
Yeah. What kind of value can somebody bring to the room if they're not the most successful? If they're just learning and, you got all these people who have done more than you, what are you to them more than just a charity case?
I get asked that question all the time. I've got 4,500 investors in my networking group. It is the largest real estate networking group in the country, which means the world. I've got people from Mexico, South America, Canada, Europe, Australia in my group, which is pretty cool. I get so many people saying, hey, I'm brand new. I don't bring any value. I don't know anything, right? I go into these meetings of my local community of a real estate investment association meeting, otherwise known as a REIA, REIA. And I'm afraid to talk to people because I don't know anything. I'm embarrassed. I don't have any knowledge. I don't bring any value. What do I do when I go in these meetings? And I tell people that you're going in to meet people that are successful and bring value. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm going there. People that are successful, and I'll just say top of the food chain, when they're in these meetings, of course they want to meet other people that are successful, but they want to see who's in the room. And quite often they're open to meeting someone who's new. Why? They might need an assistant. They might need a VA. They might need someone to run errands for them. They might need someone to help with their cold calling. They might need an administrative assistant. So they're always looking for someone who can bring value. The value isn't necessarily their knowledge, but someone that they can work with and represent their company.
Mm.
So how do they figure this out? And how do we present ourselves? They're looking for someone that can speak well, present themselves well, know how to ask questions, know how to listen, know how to engage, be pleasant, be friendly. Oh my gosh, I love that girl. Love that guy. Such a nice person. I'm going to hang on to their number. Not because they've got a vast wealth of knowledge of real estate, but because there's someone that they could work with and represent themselves properly to the community as they represent that person's business.
Yeah, and there's lots of different value propositions that you can bring, right? The first thing people think about is money, right? And there's experience, there's connections and people that you know, but there's also time and hustle, right? And that's why I think that the newbie can bring to the table most often. That's one of their greatest resources is time and just the hustle factor, right? How much are you willing to work? Are you willing to work, off hours? Are you willing to work weekends? Right? If you can do that, you can bring value to somebody who has way more than you, because the people who have been around for a while, they don't have a lot of time. They're busy. So if you can bring money, if you can bring time and you can bring hustle to the table, I think there's a synergy there that's a win-win.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think the big thing you said is hustle. They're looking for someone that's ambitious. They're looking for someone that's outgoing. They're looking for someone that can present themselves. That person doesn't have to know all about real estate, but again, they have the personality that can help somebody with their business.
Yeah. Yeah, and even personality is a value proposition for many, right? Like if you can build trust quickly with others and build rapport, that's a skill that most people actually don't have, and it's actually one of those ones that's hard to develop. It's almost like the nature versus nurture discussion. Like you either have
Yeah.
it or you don't. Now, most of us are, entrepreneurial. We can figure things out, but for many people, it comes off disingenuous when they're trying too hard to
You're so
please,
right.
to get trust. And it's like this person's, there's something going on with this person. Like, what do you say to those people are who are just trying too hard?
Um, Slow your roll.
Hmm.
Slow your roll. Just be yourself. You know, um, I live in LA, grew up in Hollywood, love the film industry. And I heard something when I was in college about, presenting yourself and speaking. And everyone's heard of John Wayne. And John Wayne was, a very famous actor. Obviously, he's deceased. Um,
Not
what
John
he
Wayne Gacy, right?
No, no, John Wayne, the Western cowboy actor,
Okay.
right?
All right. All right.
He utilized what's referred to as the verbal pause. No, excuse me, the non-verbal pause. As I'm talking to you now, and I'm pausing as I go from one thing to the next. What that does to the individual you're speaking to, it causes them to wait with bated breath on what your next word's going to be. What's the next thing you're going to say? By waiting and pausing, it causes the person you're talking to focus more on what you're saying as opposed to running through a conversation. And again, this is about communication. I think, what I do is I teach people the combination of business communications, interpersonal relations in regard to real estate investment and social media. This gets back to what you said. about building rapport. How do we want to build rapport? How do we do that? We build rapport based upon commonality. How do we discover commonality? Well, you and I met indirectly through Facebook. I joined a real estate community, had a Facebook membership. I got on Facebook, started meeting other people around. I'm hearing about this program called Privy. Oh my gosh. There's this guy named Benson Juarez. Oh my gosh. But we met the beginning path to where we are today was Facebook. All investors have a Facebook page. Any real estate community you belong to, they have a Facebook group or page for their community. You join our Facebook group and you can engage with everybody else. One's Facebook page becomes their digital business card to the world to say who they are. They're going to meet you somewhere. They're going to go, Benson, are you a real estate investor? Yes, I am, with confidence. Do you have a Facebook page? Yes, I do, with confidence. What they're not going to ask you is, can I go look at your Facebook page? And they're just going to go. And they're going to see what you have, what you've posted, how you present yourself. Do you have your face clearly so they see your smile and head of rich, thick black hair and a big smile and big brown eyes and this good-looking young man named Benson Juarez? Or are you wearing sunglasses standing in the distance next to a boat where I see your feet and your shoes and your pants in this big boat? People don't want to see the boat. They want to see your face,
Yeah.
right? You don't market your business, you market yourself. So what do you put on your Facebook page? Where are you from? Where do you go to school? That could be commonality. Someone might have gone to the same high school or the same part of town or the same junior college, university. Maybe they're part of the same education community. You could put things in your bio that you're a nurse or you're with law enforcement and you've got a background with the military or you're whatever it happens to be. Oh my gosh, he or she is just like me. So now you're presenting your commonality by how you present yourself. But
Mhm.
it's about building rapport, and we build rapport based on commonality, and that commonality is how we present ourselves. We do not market our business, we market ourselves. I've got 7 LLCs. I don't market my 7 LLCs. I market
Right.
me.
Yeah.
My networking group is not about, it's mastermind networking, that was what it's called, but it's JJ's mastermind networking. My name's in there intentionally. My YouTube channel for all my guest speaker recordings where I post them on YouTube is Flip Side Up, but it's Flip Side Up with JJ. My name is in there.
Right.
So I make sure to include myself in what I'm marketing because I want people to know my name. You know, um, there's things I teach on my Zoom calls, but if people implement these small little tweaks of how to use Facebook, the people are going to know your name because you're leveraging the Facebook's algorithm for activity. And the
Mhm.
more people know your name, the more they're going to know you. They'll know you before they know you. They'll know your name before they know you personally. When they know you, your name before they know you personally, your name precedes you. When your name precedes you, your name becomes your brand. When
That's
your
true.
name becomes your brand, opportunity just comes to you. People are drawn to you because now your name, Benson Juarez, everybody knows you. Everybody knows you. They know Privy, but when they know your name, they then think Privy, but they know you first.
Right. Another thing that I found that's really powerful too is they people, even if they don't know you, but they know who you're associated with. Like, you got, on the Facebook page, it's got the common friends, right? Or you go to a network working group and they see you hanging with certain people and they can assume a lot of things about you just by who you are associated with. What
Yeah, very
what
much.
have you learned about that skill in the networking realm by just like, hanging out with current, like certain kinds of people to basically elevate yourself in, perceptionally among other people?
Well, there's a very standard phrase with business that we're doing. I've been in real estate education as a student for the last 6, 7 years, learning how to maximize investment. I've been a landlord for decades before that. But one of the comments you hear all the time is your network is your net worth. You know, um, Again, I say it's not who you know, but who knows you. You need to build rapport, build your visibility. There's a couple of things I know from years gone by, decades gone by. Um, Lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. if you're hanging out with the wrong people. Show me who your friends are, I'll show you who you are. So it's about those you build relationships with. But there's a young man named Pace Morby. A lot of people have heard of him, as they've heard of yourself. And you go to events, and if there's somebody on stage, it's Jerry Norton, it's Grant Cardone, it's Tony Robbins, it's Jamil Damji, it's Benson Juarez, you know, Ryan Pineda. These are all very non-common, popular names on the investor landscape. When you get pictures with these people and you post them to your Facebook pages, oh my God, he knows Jamil, he knows Grant Cardone, he knows Benson Juarez. By being in a picture and associating with and being near very visible people, this gives one some amount of credibility. Maybe not 100% credibility, but you're in the right path. You're in the right room.
Mm-hmm.
The key to success is being in the right room. And if you're in the right room, meeting the right people, so look at all the people this individual's meeting. You might not know all of them, or to what extent do you know them, but it means you're on the right path.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know?
I've seen
Um,
those pictures where people take, they it's the photo op, right? People wait in line, they go take a picture with somebody, and then they put it on their Instagram, and it's like, okay, I'm trying to build credibility through association. And for a long time, I thought, well, they don't know that person, but you're right. Like you can't start to get to know somebody until you meet them for the first time. And if it happens to be through a photo and you use that as a way to, like, maybe the next time you see them, oh, we took a photo out in, Scottsdale at that event. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember you. Or, maybe they don't, but they're like, oh, that was such a great event. And now you have something to talk about. You had that commonality thing about you were both at the same event and you happened to take a picture together. And now there's a basis and a foundation for a new subject where you can start to build that commonality.
you know, in that breath, I'll use the name Pace Morby. I'm in the Subto community today, and it's a lifetime community. So I guess I'll be in Subto forever. Um, but I've had the opportunity to meet Pace at least, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 different opportunities. And I make a point every opportunity to get a picture with him. Why? So he remembers me. If
Yeah,
I was in the room 9 different times and saw him from a distance, but I never made the point to say hello, I never made the point to get a picture, he's not going to know who you are. Again, it's not who you know, but who knows you. I'll go to events. I speak around the country. I go to local meetups. I go to bigger events. I speak in the hallways. Sometimes I speak on stage. Um, but I'll ask people, to get a photo with them because I want to remember them. And I had a young man tell me one time, he says, "Oh, we've already got a picture together." And I'm thinking to myself, brother, you need to get the second picture, the third. That's going to help me remember them.
right.
Do you not care for me to remember you? Of course, in my case, of course, I want Pace Morby to remember me. So I want every time I meet you, I'm gonna want to get a picture with you
Yeah,
because oh yeah, sure, come on, let's get a picture. Seeing you again, seeing you again, and that's building our rapport because anyone that comes and says, "Can I get a picture with you?" That individual who's having the request made upon them should be flattered.
100%. Well, that young person you talked about too, it says a lot about them that they'd said, I don't have enough time to take a picture with you, or you weren't worth taking a picture with, right? And they don't get it. But think about if you just transferred that to your own family. Oh, I got a picture with my dad. I don't need another one. We took a picture 10 years ago, right? But every time that you take a picture with somebody, it's like you're at a different stage in your life. There's
Yeah.
new stories, there's new, you physically have changed. You're a different person that next time you take a picture, and it just even looks different, even if you don't look much different because of all the new experiences that are in you when you take that picture.
The real reason you want to take the picture is the same reason you want to go to any event and get into any room is to networking. Is to network. It's to networking. To network.
Mhm.
Networking done properly leads to visibility. Visibility acquired properly leads to opportunity. And every single one of us wants the same thing. We want the opportunity to build relationships with successful people. We cannot do that if we don't make ourselves visible. There's a saying that says people do business with people they know, like, and trust. I throw trust out the window because if I don't like you, I'm not going to trust you.
Hmm.
So basically, people do business with people that they know and they like. They cannot like you if they do not know you. If you're not visible on social media, no one's going to know who you are. People have a Facebook page and they don't post. They don't post at all, but they've got a whole bunch of people on their friends list. I'm like, if you're not posting, then your name's not coming up in the news feed for all these people to see you. They're not seeing your name on a regular basis, and now you're sight out of mind. You're yesterday's news. You're not visible. If you're not visible, you're invisible, and opportunity walks right past you. So it's a matter of being visible to maximize your opportunities.
Yeah, it's true. I've traveled more this year to networking events and masterminds that I ever have in my business career, in all the different fields I've been in. And it's a lot of work. It can become expensive. There's a lot of travel. You're in airports a lot and you're living out of your suitcase, but it's an investment. And so what would you say to people who maybe just they can't afford the next event that's coming up, or it's too much of an inconvenience, or they'd rather just hang out and locally with their friends and family? Like, what would you tell those people who are thinking about going to an event, whether it's a networking event or it's like an educational thing? What would you say to them if they're maybe considering not going?
Well, it all comes down to, one's funds. What's your budget like? Can you afford to go to that? Then they have to make a decision. Do they want to go to the concert? Do they want to go on a shopping spree? Do they want to buy a new car? Or do they want to take some of these funds and plan to go to events? So part of it's just what their financial portfolio looks like. Are they able to go to these things? Um, if people are brand new and they're not able to go, then obviously you want to get into your local community and participate in whatever RIAs or whatever free events are there. You can go to meetup.com. There are other ways where you could find what's happening in your local community. Um, but no matter where you live, you need to network outside of your community, because if you're in a big city, Chicago, New York, LA, Dallas, San Francisco, Miami, these are not landlord friendly communities for the most part. And people that have assets in these cities want to invest in the red state, so they're more landlord friendly. Frequently there's a lower buying and a higher return of investment. But if we have relationships with people in these other parts of the country, this is going to facilitate our opportunities. If we live in the red states, if we live in the smaller communities that are better investment opportunities, and we're trying to do real estate, but we need people to fund our deals. We need people to buy our deals. Well, those people with the money might come from Chicago, New York, San Francisco, LA, Dallas, Miami. How do we
Mhm.
meet those people if they don't live in Nebraska? They don't live in Indiana. They don't live in Illinois or Arkansas or North Carolina and Tennessee. Networking for real estate is so important. My group, I hold 2 Zoom calls a week. I have guest speakers such as yourself, talk on a variety of real estate topics. And, part of what I do is I involve what I call breakout rooms of live networking, so people can network with others from around the country. What I do is create a platform focused not upon short sale, not upon wholesaling or raising private money or creative finance. My platform is based on building relationships and learning how to make yourself visible. So you're meeting, you're networking with others whose mindset is to help the new investor to grow their business by building and growing relationships, by getting better at talking to people they don't know. I stuttered as a kid. I stuttered horribly as a kid. I was the last guy that wanted to speak to anybody, you know, but I realized that if I was going to progress in life, I had to get better at talking to people. I took a speech class in college where I learned about John Wayne and the verbal versus the nonverbal pause. Now, what's a verbal pause? I'm talking to Benson Juarez, and he's got a great microphone, and I like his shirt, and I think something else, and his hair looks really good. Versus, I'm talking to Benson Juarez. He's got a nice microphone. His shirt looks really good. His hair looks really good. But when you pause in between, instead of filling those gaps with the ums, uhs, buts, ands, you sound smarter. Your delivery is clearer, and people are going to listen to what you're going to say.
Mhm.
Little tweaks. People come into my group. I'm going to introduce you to people that will get to know you and become your friend, because I'm introducing you as my friend. When you came on as a guest speaker, we had breakout rooms, we had people asking questions. But again, if you can't afford to go out, find a place where you can interact with others. The problem, and I'll call it the problem, with most of these real estate education platforms around the country is, people are selling something. Nate Barger's got a program called Burr Invest. There's, groups on raising private money. There's groups on wholesaling. There's groups on short sales. But every person that's running these groups is really creating this group so they can bring benefit to themselves. I joined a group a while ago that really promoted itself. I won't say the name of the group. But they had 4 meetups through the year, and the group was $25,000 for the year. And they had Zoom calls every week in between these 4 meetups. Are you hearing this noise outside? Okay, I'll continue. Let me know if you do, and I'll tell them to stop. They had Zoom calls every week in between these quarterly events around the country. One of them might have been in Cancun. One of them might have been in Bahamas. Come hang out with us on a boat. Isn't this fancy? But they'd have weekly meetings, and the meetings were really predicated upon these 3 or 4 guys marketing their investment opportunities of come fund our deal.
Right.
Come be one of our lenders and fund our deal. It was all about them. And on these Zoom calls, they didn't ask the people to put their name up. It might have been iPhone or Android. They never asked them to put their last name up. They never told them to put their phone number up. You never knew what part of the country they were from. They never put the location, like the 2-letter abbreviation for where they live. And so what happens then is there's really not a building of the community, because they're not providing a platform to network and build relationships. Again, of course, I'm partial to what I've created. My group is all about building the relationship, because you cannot do this business by yourself. And no one's born knowing how to speak to. Yeah, some of us are more comfortable with it. Some of us just have born with a gift of gab, but most of us don't. So the way we get better at talking to a buyer or a seller is by practicing with talking to another investor.
Yeah.
Role playing. What do you talk about when you talk to another investor? Don't talk about real estate. I mean, they're going to get bored. Yeah, you might have a good deal, might have a good investment opportunity. But what you really want to do is you want to build a relationship with this person. You want to get them to like you after talking to them for so many minutes. So what you really want to talk about is the acronym FORD, like the automobile, FORD. You want to talk about family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, because these are the things that will present to the world who you are and what you're about. These are the things your family and friends know you to be and love you for. So when other investors see your posts on your page about family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, oh, he's got kids, I got kids, he's got a dog, I've got a cat, he's an animal person, he likes music, he went to the Rolling Stones, I went to the Rolling Stones. You like sporting events, you like fishing. Benson's just like me. I love Benson. He's just like me. And this is not talking about business or real estate. It's talking about the things that make, but the key is to ask the other person. And then when they return the question back to you, make a short answer, flip it right back to them. So you get them, you'll find the one topic that gets them talking about themselves. They love their dog, they love their kids, their grandkids, they love their fishing trip. So you get them, you find out what their thing is, and then you
Right.
just stay with it. And you get them talking about themselves. You show interest in them. You ask questions. You listen. They're like, oh my God, I love Benson. I just got done talking to him for 10 minutes. Why do they love you? Because for 8 of the 10 minutes, you got them talking about themselves. Because everybody's favorite topic is themselves.
It is. And even if they don't realize it, it's just subconscious, right? They don't really know why sometimes they like somebody, but that part about, talking about themselves, it's true. It really is true. And I'm glad you took the conversation in a way I was planning on going to, which is, the reasons why networking is so important, right? You're the expert. And I think we've made a solid case for why networking is important in business and real estate investing. But the next question is why, what comes out of the networking? You're saying, yeah, we're building these relationships. We've got friends now, but practically and pragmatically in the real estate investing space, what can you do with these relationships?
It's I get asked all the time about my networking group because everything I do to help people I do for free. They're like, for free? How do you make money at this? I'm like, you don't get it. I got 4,400 people in my group that are from all over the country, every field of expertise, every level of experience. Sure, some of them are brand new. I got some people that like yourself, top of the food chain. I've got people that have a wealth of experience. So, of course, some are in their teen, a couple 19-year-olds in there, maybe 18-year-olds. I've got people that are seasoned business people, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. They've got decades of experience, and what makes one successful in business is your experience, and often that experience are interpersonal relationships. How do you deal with the problem? How do you deal with a situation? One with experience is going to deal appropriately and calmly and collectively. Um, People ask, if I'm not making money, from selling my networking, why do I do this? I have had almost 300 guest speakers on my YouTube channel. I record everybody's presentation. I put it on the YouTube channel. It's called Flip Side Up with JJ YouTube channel. Little plug there. Um, but I've built friendships with these people. I'm not going to have people on my call that are not my friends, because why would I promote someone that's not my friend? I want to get to know people, see who they are, that they bring value to the community. They've got a strong message. They're a good person. Now I want everyone to know Benson Juarez. I want everybody in my network to know Benson Juarez. All 4,500 people, all 3,500 subscribers to my YouTube channel. We promote every guest speaker to over 70 real estate groups on Facebook. And all I want to do, because they may not all come to the call, a person from every group, but everyone's watching. Everyone sees my name. Everyone sees their name. And again, you don't market your business, you market yourself. I'm marketing myself. Not only am I marketing myself, I've built relationships with a whole lot of successful investors. And I tell people, don't chase the deal, chase the relationship. Build your
Mhm.
relationships, build your network before you need it. Because if you don't reach out until you need something, it's very apparent that you're just reaching out to me because you need something. I've never heard from you before. You've been on my friends list for a year. I've never heard of you. Now you need something. You're coming to me. It's like, Marlon Brando in The Godfather. You were never here before, but now you need something. You come to me. You know, it's like you need to
Yeah.
build a relationship before you need it. You need to, and that's what gets back to one of the first things you said to begin with. It's being genuine. Be genuine.
Mhm.
Extend your friendship. So people that kind side of you that your mother knows you to be, your wife, your kids, your grandmother. And if you're real and genuine, and you present yourself as that person that your family knows you and loves you to be, you can't lose. You can't lose. It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, let's take it a little bit further because I don't know that you answered my question, but I know you doubled down on the relationship part of it. But like, at what point is this relationship building going to be monetized? When people are thinking,
Okay.
do I pay for this networking group? Do I join a mastermind that's $25,000? It needs to turn into money at some point,
It's
right?
crazy. I hear people doing that. It's like anything that anyone would pay $25,000 for, I will give you for free. Literally the same thing. I mean, why, I don't know who's doing that, but I mean, I'm the alternative. What I get by that is, why would you want to do this? What do I get from this? I now have personal friendships with some of the most visibly successful people in the country. Not only have friendships with them, but they're now introducing me to people that they're scaling up to, which
Hmm.
is which is a definition of a network, because it explodes. It's like the solar system. It gets bigger and bigger. I just had a call this morning from a guy from one of the biggest title companies in the country, because one of the biggest hard money lenders in the country said, you got to meet JJ. We talked for a
Mhm.
while. He says, "Oh my God, I can't believe what you're doing. There are so many different departments of our company and our industry that I could direct people to you and have you be able to, again, then later monetize. Because if I'm sharing people and people are going to them for business, I might get an affiliate link. I might get, let's kick you back something because they're doing business with us. It's not why I started it, but now it's part. I've got an affiliate link on my website that I've not built out yet, but I will. But it's
Right.
all sequential. But again,
I'm
I
trying to
have
help people
relations.
understand the importance of why to build these friendships. Right.
Well, I
And we're
think,
still not bridging this gap here between all these strong relationships that we've built to what the back end of it. Like in a business sense, why is it important to have these relationships? How does knowing the largest title company or the owner of the largest title company in the country help you? Or this is what I'm trying to really have help people get the aha moment on why networking is so important.
well, again, if you're the smartest, richest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You want to be the dumbest person in the room, but the key then is to have everybody like you.
Hmm.
Because when they like you, they're going to help you grow. They're going to help your business succeed.
Okay,
And
let's
if you,
let's let's dig in there. What does that mean? Help you
well, if
succeed,
you,
help your business
if
grow. Like what does that really mean?
if you need help, if you need assistance, they can direct you to someone that they know. If you don't have the relationship, they're just going to look at you and say, "No, I'm sorry, I can't help you." If you
Okay,
have
so
the
so
relationship, they're going to say, "You know what? I can't help you, but my best friend can.
right.
So now let me introduce you to this person that can help you. And I'm going to introduce you to this person that can help you because I like you."
Right. So
People
for
help
me, what
people
I'm
that they
thinking
know and
about,
like.
I completely understand that. I'm really trying to double down here, JJ, on the practical application of networking and how it translates into money in business. So, for example, the guy at the title company, I probably want to sell him something at some point, but I wouldn't have the opportunity to give him a presentation if he doesn't know who I am. I'm gonna have to go through all of his gatekeepers and all those things, and I'm going to come with him with an opportunity. I'm going to say, you know what? Let's just, for example, I've got um, I met some people last night at a RIA meeting, and they have a blockchain title company software that helps them facilitate transactions. Everything's on the blockchain. It's all smart contracts. A really cool idea. They're never going to be able to present to this person if they don't know them, right? But if they know that person, or they know somebody, and they can get to them, now they can go in. They have a better chance of closing that sale and actually engaging in business, right? All
Mhm.
these people in your group, let's say somebody has a syndication deal they're trying to raise money for, right? People know, like, and trust them, and now they can say, you know what? We've got this deal. We're looking for funding. It's $1 million. Anybody who wants to invest can invest in it. People are going to be way more likely to do business with that person because they know, like, and trust them, right? You mentioned the affiliate things, like, you know, the ability to go into like these high level people like the Grant Cardones of the world. If I could get Grant Cardone to help me sell Privy, which I don't have an opportunity. I've never talked to him. Like, that would be huge for my business. But it's that networking and stepping up and scaling up. This is where I was trying to get to. Like, what real is the real practical application of networking, and how does it translate into business and making money and make it worth that time and money investment?
Well, my experience through 6 years of education groups is 90% everyone's doing the deal. They're doing the curriculum, the studying, the videos, the coaching calls, the training, they're doing the YouTube, they're doing the Zoom calls, but they're not leveraging social media to make themselves visible within the community. What do we want is we want to meet the 10% of the group that's really, you know, it's no longer the 80-20 rule, it's more like the 90-10 rule. 10% of the people are doing 90% of the business. 90% of the people are not visible on social media. How do you beat that 10%? How do you squeeze the juice out of the orange so that you can benefit yourself? Is you need to make yourself visible. Um, when you go into any room, 9 out of 10 people, you'll meet people, you exchange business cards, you'll shake hands, you'll have a pleasant conversation, but only one of those 10 conversations are really going to amount to anything. But you need to throw a wider net so that you have a wider 10% that can benefit you. It's just an exercise that you just need to keep marketing yourself. You need to keep visible. You need to keep building relationships so that you find those people that will want to help you because they like you. I could not buy all the relationships I've had if I purely went out to just try and get people to be my friend. You know, whether it's hosting a cocktail party at my house, whether it's take someone to a Dodgers game or a Lakers game or a Chargers game, I try and socialize with investors at the same time making myself visible, and seeing, who I want to continue to associate with. And then, it's partly marketing. It's partly, marketing is putting yourself out there, but connecting with others, seeing who resonates with us. But networking is an exercise that we have to do. I had a young man on my call on Saturday, a few days ago, and I've known him for years. He's 20 years old, from Oklahoma. Kid is kicking butt. He is the kind of young man that any parent would want this kid to be their son, or they want him dating their daughter. Love this young man. Um, he's now getting into development at the age of 20.
Wow.
Getting into development. He's working with people in the Oklahoma area that are doing 10 homes, 40 homes, and now he's in the position where he tells me, "Well, I need to get $100,000 for this project I'm working on." I said, "Brother, you should get that in one phone call." He gets on my Zoom call last Saturday. I'm introducing people. Got 30 people on the call. And I tell everybody, hey, give me 60 seconds. Where are you from? What are you all about? This guy gets on there and says, I'm from ABC. I'm from this state. My name is so-and-so. And I fund developments. I'm looking to fund developments. I said, really? So the guy on the call is looking for someone to fund his development. And I said, hey, Fred, little Barney over here, you guys need to talk. Had he never responded to my request to speak with him that very same morning, he wouldn't have been on the call. But by networking, I opened the door, not for me to help him, but for someone I know to help him. So if you're looking for the benefit from the person you're speaking to, you're not looking far enough. Because if you build a relationship with people, they will open their network to you. Otherwise, all you have is a friends list. If you're adding people to your friends list, you're not getting their phone number, you're not getting their email, you're not getting on the phone, getting to know them. You don't even know if you like them. You don't know if they like you. Are you resonating with one another? No, I'm not. You can't sign escrow documents to a Facebook message. You can't sign send some money deposit through a Facebook message. You need to speak to people. You need to see what they have and what they need. And you can't do that merely by accepting a friend request. But if you're not connecting with the people, speaking with the people that you're adding, your friends list has absolutely zero value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. It's
yeah,
all the follow through. You talked about the collecting of the business cards at the event, and everybody has like these big ideas of, yeah, we're gonna do business together. I'll call you, you call me, and then 2 days later, you already moved on and you gone back to life, and you haven't done anything with that business card that's in your wallet, or you didn't, text the person where you scan their phone and you got their blink and all that sort of stuff. So it really is, the work begins as soon as you get the intro.
follow up.
It's all in the follow-up, and then maintaining those conversations over time, because people will forget about you, like you said, out of sight, out of mind.
Well, it's follow up, and there's also the precursor leading into that. Like, if you're going to send a friend request to someone because they're wearing the same hat as your education community or the same shirt with a logo that you recognize, send them a Facebook message in addition to the friend request. Say, hey, my name's JJ Benson. I saw you at this event, and everybody said I should get to know you. I'm in this education community. I've sent you a friend request. Please look for it. I'd love to talk to you on the phone and get to know you. Here's my number. Can I get to know you? Can you please accept my friend request? Why is that important? Because if you get 200 friend requests, nobody sends a message to introduce themselves.
Right.
But when you send that message, you're literally locking down they're going to accept your friend request. They're probably going to send you their phone number, not the calendar link. And now you're actually talking to someone to see if they can help you and you have anything in common. Because if you don't start the communication, you're not going anywhere. Adding someone to your friends list just allows you to ask for a phone number so then you can go to the next level, which is getting to know them. So
Yeah,
part of it's up front, but the other part of it is, again, it's on the end. It's follow-up. Follow-up's everything.
it is. Yeah. What advice would you give somebody who's looking to network with somebody specifically, but they don't know them? But there's like somebody who's like outside their sphere network, maybe somebody who's, famous or, very influential, but that person really would like to talk to them for whatever reason. Like, what advice would you give them?
Well, I'd say, go to Google, find that person's Instagram page, follow them on Instagram, see what they're speaking about, see what they're posting about, find them on Facebook, see what they're speaking about, see what they're posting about, follow their LinkedIn. Do they have a website? Learn about them. Do they have a book? Right? Learn as much as you can. Are they a speaker on people's podcasts? Are there interviews about them when they're talking about themselves and what they do? Then, when you have information on them, send them Facebook message or Instagram, whatever their primary platform is, and those are the two primary platforms. Ben said, "Hey, my name is JJ, and I've been following you on Instagram, or I've been following you on Facebook. I've watched your videos, some of your interviews. I think what you're doing is amazing. I'd love to get to know you. I've sent you a friend request. Can you please accept it? I'd love to talk to you on the phone. Here's my number. Can we speak sometime?" So, people that have been speakers on my call, I said, "Look, if you're in the same education group that I am and you're in my groups, hey, Benson, I just watched your interview with JJ. Loved your topic. I'm also in this other education group that you're a part of." So now they're saying they have a commonality with you with the education group. They have a commonality with you with your background with me. They have a commonality that they've watched your interview on my YouTube. They're identifying that
Mhm.
they're aware of you. That's going to be impressive to anybody.
Yeah.
And then you say, I've sent you a friend request. Can we please connect? That's going to be a slam dunk. Say, hey, I'd love to speak with you. You approach anyone like that, they're going to be, of course you can speak with me. Of course you can speak with me.
Right. One other
You know,
tip I would say to add to that, because that's exactly right, is commenting on their posts, right? Liking them, commenting them, not asking for anything yet, but in the early stages of you following them, commenting, liking their stuff, because they go back and they look, right? They're looking at who's liking and who's commenting on their posts, and they may even do like another like reaction or a reply, and you're starting to get that interaction early on. I think that's something that's really possible. But also too, I think the group thing, like you mentioned, if you got that, if there's no commonality, like what commonality can you create? Like if you figure out that Grant Cardone's in this, $100,000 mastermind, you know, can you get in that mastermind somehow? Right. And then now you can be like, yeah, I'm also in this mastermind. We haven't met yet, but all of a sudden you're pulled up to a similar level. And it isn't, you down here and them way up there on a pedestal.
you make a really good point. You might say something like, again, I use Pace Morby thing frequently uh, because he's a perfect example of success. Um, but if you say something like, hey, I'm in Pace's group, well, now you're identifying yourself as someone who's visibly successful. I've had students in my group, like, um, let's see, on my Facebook page, I can pull what education group that I'm with, and I can actually point out here. Can I share my Facebook page for a second?
Sure. You should be able to share it. For those of you that are
Okay.
listening, on Apple or Spotify, JJ's good at sharing his Facebook page. You won't be able to see it, but we'll try to talk
Okay.
you through it.
So we're going to my Facebook page, which is JJ Azizian. I'm the only JJ Azizian on Facebook. When you come down into the intro of my page, I have my website and I have my link for my Zoom, and that's in the bio, the top part above the horizontal gray line. But
I'm
down
only seeing
below,
like a landscape here. Do you get multiple screens?
okay, let's see here. I thought, here we go.
There we go. Got it.
Yeah, so as I come down into my Facebook page, you see the link to my website, you'll see my Zoom link, also, how to get on the Zoom call with me. But down below, I might say, well, I'm in at Jamil Damji's free group, so I'm going to put today's astroflipping at Jamil Damji. So
Mm.
now I actually, instead of putting on my astroflipping, I'm using Jamil's name and his photo. Associating myself with, I know Jamil Damji, I'm in his free group. I'm in Pace's group. So I put study subto creative real estate at Pace Morby. I'm in Pace's mastermind program. So I put study subto mastermind at Pace Morby. I'm in Amy
Mm.
Majori's Raising Private Money group at Amy Majori. I'm in Carl Allen's protege program at Carl Allen. So on your Facebook page, again, you're associating yourself with other people that are visible. The students in my group are now putting studies networking and branding at JJ Azizian. So even my name pops up. I'm not as visibly successful as the others, but again, using commonality, you put your secondary education. In my case, it's University of Southern California. Put my high school, Hollywood High School. I live in Chicago. I live in Los Angeles. I'm born in Chicago. I have my Instagram link, my LinkedIn link. I've got a link for my YouTube channel. But if people come across my page, they see that I've built out the intro to clearly depict that I'm a real estate investor. And again, it's associating yourself with other people, even if it's on your Facebook page, that I'm in their
Right.
education program. I'm connected to this person.
Yeah.
Again, association.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to get creative with that too. Sometimes it's not as obvious, right? And especially if you're trying to connect with somebody who you don't have any commonalities with, you might have to get creative and put in some extra work to get to know that person, to even have a conversation with them. And a lot of people just don't put the time in. They just hope that it will happen over time, and they're hoping they can get lucky. But networking really is a skill, and it's something that you can
I
build over
wanted to throw
time and
one
get
more
better
thing
at.
on there. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I wanted to add one more thing on there that you mentioned as far as how to engage in a post. Facebook's a predominant platform for social media because Facebook has groups. Instagram has no groups, right?
Mhm.
So Facebook has groups, people have Facebook pages, but to use and leverage the algorithm for activity, there's 5 things you can do to increase your visibility for someone. Say I want to get to know Benson Wars, I don't know him. I want to like his post, right? You click the like button, but to maximize the algorithm for activity, never hit the blue thumbs up. Hit the care, the wow, the love, the angry, the sad, anything but the blue thumbs up because you get credit for that. You, Benson, if you do the post and people like the blue thumbs up, you get credit all day. But if people are responding to your post, they get no credit for the blue thumbs up. So hit the love, hit the care, hit the wow. That's the first
Mm.
thing. The second thing that is engaging. So Facebook's about engagement. So when I engage with the like button, I get credit for that. You get credit for that. If I put a comment, good job, congratulations, I get credit for that. You get credit for that. But does that really bring visibility from me to you? No. So in the comment, the third thing to do is to add a question to your comment. You might post a photo of a house, and my question would be, why did you paint the door blue? Do I care why you painted the door blue? No, I want Benson Morris to respond to my question so he sees my
Mm.
name. And then he answers. My wife's favorite color is blue. Great. In this picture, the windows have stickers on. What was the lead time on the windows? I don't care what the lead time in the windows was. I want you to answer my question. So now you know who I am. Now, when I send you a Facebook message, I go, can you accept my friend request? There's some familiarity. That's only the third thing. The question is the third thing. The fourth thing is the use of the GIF image. And you want to click
Mhm.
that little box that says GIF with the little oval rectangle around it, because that's going to allow you to select a moving, animated, cartoonish figure, some moving photo of Tom Hanks or somebody. This brings visibility to your comment. So if someone joins and goes, hey, just join the group, and you see 75 people comment, welcome, 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 welcome. But you comment, welcome to the group. Where are you from? What are you investing in with a GIF image? Now you stand out amongst everybody else because you added
Mhm.
the GIF image. And now you're calling for engagement. The question is the call for engagement. And the more engagement you create, the more visible Facebook makes you. As you use a GIF image, even with your family and friends away from real estate, use a cute little GIF image of a baby, a bunny, a puppy, a kitten. People are going to like that GIF image. And the more they like it with no relation to real estate, that's going to maximize your visibility in real estate because you're leveraging the algorithm for activity. The GIF image
Mhm.
is the fourth thing you can do. The fifth thing you want to do is you want to tag that person. And I don't want to put Benson Juarez, I love that house. I'm like, dude, I know my last name. Why are you calling me Benson Juarez? I would say Benson, I back out the last name. I hit the backspace delete key to delete the last name. I put a comment. You're still tagged. The first name is still in bold blue casing. And then start, Benson, great post. Why'd you paint the door blue? But your brain, the brain of the person you're messaging, is going to receive that comment as a personal and personable delivery, as opposed to going, Benson Juarez, why'd you paint the door? My brain's not working. I know my last name. What do you mean? It's a smoother delivery. It's interpreted as more personable, more friendly. So there's 5 ways to respond to that post. 1 is hit the reaction button, the like button, never hit the blue thumbs up. 2, add a comment. 3, add a question. 4, add a GIF image. 5, tag the person in the first person. When you leverage your replies to someone's post like this makes you more visible. It makes you more visible to the person you're responding to, and it maximizes your visibility within Facebook's algorithm for activity. I felt I needed to throw that in. I'm sorry, I needed to throw that in there.
No, I'm glad you did, because we've been giving a lot of good tips and tricks and advice on, why networking is so important. Um, some of the strategies that you can use to reach people, build rapport, the reasons why it's so important, as well as, you know, what's the end game really, right? Like you don't want to do this just for the sake of doing it. It's for a business purpose and to build relationships and to make friends, right? And all that is kind of tied together. And so like that kind of like brass tacks advice that you just gave is like real granular, real things that people can do just by listening to this podcast. They can take that and they can start implementing it right away in their business.
Oh yeah.
Which is why I wanted you. That's why we're focusing on this right now, JJ, is because you're the expert in this, and everybody that's listening to this is thinking about networking. They're thinking about why they should do it. And so we've just spent the last hour really giving them a lot of like practical applications on how they can do it, why they should be doing it. And it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing.
I've got 4,400 people in my group. We're moving on 4,500. The success of my business will be predicated by the 5 or 6 people I need to engage with. If I just take 10% of that group, that's 440 investors. I'll take 440 investors all day long. But if I only want 1% or 10%, 10%, that's 44 investors. I'll take 44 successful investors all day long, of which I only need 5 or 6. Even 1% of my group is 44 investors. What I do with my group, anyone that wants to network with me, is I will teach you every tip and trick that I know for free to help you build your business, build your visibility, build your network, and help you learn how to use and leverage my network to your benefit. There's no cost. I just say I want one thing from anyone that wants to network with me. I want the most valuable thing you have to offer as a real estate investor. What would that be, Benson?
Oh yeah, I'm sure we talked about all the different things that people can bring to the table. Everything
Well,
from
the one
time,
thing,
money.
the most the most valuable thing someone has is not time or their money. The most valuable thing they have is their friendship.
Mm,
I will help anybody, but if you're my friend, I'm going to help you more.
yeah,
If I want 5 or 6 people around me that will help me when I need them, what do I need? Do I need their time? I need their friendship.
yeah,
Because if I am their friend, they will help me more. It's about building the relationship. It's about presenting yourself as being genuine, real, not asking for anything, building your base of friends, which is your network, building your network before you need it. If you don't have a network, you don't have a business.
yeah. Amazing. Well, JJ, for anybody who wants to work with you or wants to join your Facebook group, how can they find you? Where would you like them to go and follow you? What are your socials? How can we work with you?
Facebook, I'm JJ Azizian. Simple to find. Have the spelling of my name. Last name Azizian, JJ Azizian. Instagram, JJ.Azizian on Instagram. Easy to find. Facebook's my primary vehicle for the networking. I have my own website. If you want to join my group, go to my website, jjazizian.com. And the way you might do that, if you're able to see the video right now, but if you're not, I'll explain it. You go to my Facebook page, and at the top of my bio, there's a link to my website, jjazizian.com. And as that opens, you'll see it says JJ's Mastermind Networking. My photo's on the right, and to the left is a pulsating register now button. Click that button. It's going to ask you first name, last name, phone number, email, city, state, and zip code. And
Awesome. And it's free.
and it's free. And then once you register, My VA is going to send an email out twice a week, 2 to 3 days in advance of every guest speaker. There's no time requirement. There's no money requirement, but you're always in the loop.
Yeah.
You got other people to your Facebook page. They may not comment. They may not post. They may not reply. They may not message you. If you join my group, I will always be sending an email to invite you to participate. You might say, hey, I don't know that person, but I want to get on that, hear about that topic. I don't know much about that topic, but I want to hear Benson Juarez. Right. So you're always in the loop. And I tell people, if you don't use my group, I promise you it won't help you.
There you go. There we go, man. Well, thank you so much, JJ, for taking the time and sharing your decades of experience in business and networking and real estate. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and
Oh,
I appreciate you taking the time.
thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Awesome, brother. Well, everybody who's listening, please share this post with your friends. JJ dropped some really important nuggets on networking and the practical implementation of using social media. But we have lots more really engaging and influential people, everywhere from real estate investors to business owners to people who are just doing, making big moves in business on our future podcast episodes. So follow us. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. You can also find us on YouTube for the video version of it. But really appreciate you guys listening, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Take care.
That's a wrap on today's Real Estate Revelations. Thank you for tuning into the REI Hacker Podcast. Remember, every property has a story, and every deal is a lesson. Until next time, keep hacking the real estate world.